No, I just maybe I can comment that it's interesting because some people approach us and tells us, well, this is a very sad movie, and some other people it's more close to what you were saying, and they say, well, it has some hope in it, and well, I think it's also our view. You can view it both ways, and we wanted it to have some some hope in it, no? So we're happy that you see that.
There's a question also over there in the fifth row.
I wanted to know how, by working with you and seeing their lives represented in the movie, the perception of the characters changed in their real lives. So how did they react after seeing the movie? Did they feel left outside, or did their families understand them better? I don't know.
Yes, I think so. They have been with us here in the two first screenings, all of us, all the cast, and they are absolutely amazed of the idea of showing their everyday life, and they are really proud of having made visible their jobs and their situation. Their life would be the same. I mean, it won't change anything. They want to be actors, and they know that. But it's true that between us there's a really sense of familiarity. And in this way, I think it has been really important in their lives, as it has been for us.
Before the credits start, we see that Maria passed away last year. Did she have a chance to see parts of the film, or even the film, already before she passed away?
She died some weeks after I finished the editing, and she was really ill when I finished. But I went to the old people's home, and she was lying in her bed. She was going to the hospital and going back to the old people's home for couple of months, and I was always with her from one point to another one, because she doesn't have a lot of family. But yes, finally she saw the movie in a small but she was half asleep because she was not feeling really well, but every time she listened her voice, she was smiling and laughing, like it was funny for her to be like there, no? And she was really happy to participate also, because this landscape, this place you have seen, it's where she has been born, and she really loves this landscape, and she just wanted to make a movie to show where she has been living her whole life.
Can I?
Yes, where are you?
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask you, at the beginning of the film I had the impression that I will see a fiction film. And then it always comes to me, no, it's not a fiction, it is a documentary. But my question for you, do you think, or do you have you wanted to do a real documentary, or did you think I will do something like a docu-fiction or so? You never wrote a screenplay, or did you? Or what? This is what, for me, my impression was more a docu-fiction than a documentary film. Such you ever see a documentary film, whatever you mean about it.
It's a really difficult question, and you're not the only one that is wondering this. Also, when we started from a point of view of a documentary, of making a real portrait. But as we start finding the characters and imagining a little bit the sequences and the film, we realize that being a choral movie with all these threads entwined and so on, we realized we really need a structure as if it was a fiction. I mean, formally, that the audience has the feeling that maybe this is a fiction, with the difference that all the time there are emotions emerging from the images, like real emotions. And that was the kind of thing we really liked to do. These days we have been commenting that as we have documentaries that are absolutely fake, like a fake documentary. This is absolutely the contrary. It's like a fake fiction, no? Like you think it's a fiction, but everything is real. That's what we have been thinking.
Picking up that question, you just mentioned briefly before that there was you shot it like a fiction also. What does it really mean? How did you have a proper screenplay in the end, or if not, how did you instruct the actors and actresses then?
There was a script that I had for myself, and also to plan a little bit the shooting, but I changed it all the time. And they didn't really have anything. We arrived to the set and we decided what to do, and I told them, why don't we speak about this? So there are parts that are really like set up, like if it was a fiction and let's talk about this. But on the other hand, there's like really observational material, like in the old people's home or in the fields, working in the fields. So we have all kind of shootings we really needed to explain the idea. No? We used everything we could.
Concerning the shooting, like I would like to know, we have like the heat going on all the time, and suddenly you have this massive rain. When you say you had like kind of a shooting schedule or something like that, how did you incorporate the rain? How did that work out?
Maybe Pau can answer this.
Magic of cinema, you know.
It's CGI.
Well, what we can tell you is that for the first 4 weeks of shooting, we had our shooting schedule, but there was something there all the time. Was if it rains, everything we stop everything and then we go there. And so we were waiting for the rain, as the characters are, and the rain wasn't coming. One day it came, and we could film some of the scenes with rain, and then we had to have some magic also. You know, the magicians never tell their tricks.
Are there more questions? I noticed that there is the music. Sometimes it reminded me of Western kind of music. Is that a correct observation, or why is that?
Yeah, that was something we thought from the beginning when we realized of this landscape and this loneliness of the characters, and they are really tough, and you see Raúl with his hat, no, and with the cigarette, he's like a cowboy, no, and all these summer that make us think from the beginning of a contemporary Western, but intimate at the same time, and that's what we try to do in all the atmosphere to portray this with music and also with the colors and how we shot the movie, in fact.
There's a question over there, further back.
To me it was impressive to see the laconic speech of the film, and it reminded me a little bit of theater plays in which there is not so much action, so that you somehow wait for something to happen, and it's quite a static situation. There's not so much change in the lives of the protagonists, and so you wait for something to happen. And finally the films end, and there is no real, let's say, big blow that somehow changes the scene. And you might expect the old lady to die, but she's not dying in the film, for instance. Or you might expect the young ringer to experience a competition. Did you want to express that we all have to learn to live with the waiting, with the kind of state that there is maybe not the big dramatic curve to happen, but that we maybe have to content with a static and maybe simple life?
I don't know how the movies should be, but I tried to make it in a way that it should be like life experience. And in life there are no big resolutions of things, and especially in the life of the people we are portraying. So what we didn't